this weekend, the latest movie directed by John Krasinski, If, came out. So let's talk about it. So the movie If really is poorly about ifs, or imaginary friends, and where they come from, and what happens to them as people grow up. And it takes those themes and adds the themes of loss as this big catalyst for growing up. And we're gonna go from that and having to go back to your childhood, which are really good themes. And I'm gonna focus on that for today. And I'm gonna break this review into some 4 parts: the positives, the questions I've been hearing, and the negative aspects, and then eventually my overall final impression. So let's start off good. The movie, at its core, has some really good themes, and I think that they do use them in a good way, and it is great. Also, just having the ifs, because that is probably the best part of this movie, as you have all these ifs there. It's blue, or this other ifs you see on the screen. And also, the other character I think is the best character in this movie is Calvin, who's played by Ryan Reynolds. He steals about every moment of this movie and stays on, and just great to have him there. Another great, and B in John Krasinski's character, of course, they're good, and you just love them to be on screen. Another great aspect of this movie is there's gonna be the scene where you get to see all the ifs, and it's super lively as it brings life and light to the world of imagination, where you see all these ifs. It's kind of like a musical scene, welcoming childhood, and the ways this story kind of goes with the themes about revisiting childhood and trying to reignite that little spark. So yeah, I think that those elements do very well. And and I did and then the ending, I do like the ending. I don't think I personally did, but I think a lot of people like this ending. So now let's go into the next or general questions people have. Is it okay for families? I would say yes. It is very much a family film. And the issue is there's a thing about the movie where it kind of hides from the trailers about these themes of loss and getting over it and having to move on from that. And that one I was you should consider, because the trailers kind of skip that area. Just focus on the enjoyable, fun parts. So I would just consider that before taking the family out. And then another one is, can someone older enjoy this movie? And I'm gonna answer that. Yes, I am somebody older. I enjoyed this movie. I think this movie is fun, and it helps for those older audiences to really enjoy this. And it does work as an escapism to one childhood, so it absolutely does work. But now let's talk about the negatives, the stuff that didn't think really worked as well. And I would say let's start with the fact about, I would say, the balance of the tones. As the movie goes on, it tries to balance the tones of it, the bitterness of it, and the sweetness. But sometimes it can feel a little too bitter, as ways that it's doing things, and it's kind of messy, which kind of leads into a messy plot. It's not a script, which doesn't really work all the time. And the story just feels weird. And when you're in the first half, you know you're going to do this one thing, and then the second half, you do this thing. It's kind of really different, as it's redefining itself, as that's what the movie does, and it's not really executed properly. And maybe they could have done a little bit more work to make it feel like it's actually balanced more well, and maybe it would straighten up the story a bit. Maybe some stuff times. It brings you back to this world of imagination, childlike wonder. It is great for family. I would say for my recommendation, I would give the movie first of all a 7 out of 10, and I would say I wouldn't say it needs to be seen in theaters, as it really is more of a film that you could wait for streaming. But I would definitely consider this if you want to see it really bad.